So my name's Austin, and today we'll speak about some important notions regarding tantric sexuality, particularly this essential aspect of the art and discipline of sexual continence in tantric sexuality. So Tantra is teaching us that to use and to become aware consciously so that we can control and be conscious of all the energies of life in order to help generate an expansion of the consciousness from the finite level to the infinite. And it recognizes that the biggest potential energy that we have, the one that is most easily at hand, at our disposal, is the sexual energy. Buddha said that if there was any energy stronger than the sexual energy, then he wouldn't have reached enlightenment. But he took the path of renunciation, and many traditions, spiritual traditions, are saying that the sexual energy is an obstacle, it needs to be repressed or denied, and Tantra is taking a different approach. It's embracing sexuality and cultivating the sexual energy, but teaching us how to use it in a very wise way so that it can propel us on the spiritual path. Analogically speaking, we can say, like, in modern times, it's like we're driving a plane around on the roads. We're not using the plane for how it was meant to be used. This is how it is with the sexual energy. We're not using it how it's meant to be used. And the Tantrics are teaching us how to use this in a wise way. A very key aspect with this is this art and discipline of sexual continence, which implies gaining full control over all the sexual functions and actually to master the sexual energies. This also implies learning to make love as intensely and for as long as we want, but without ejaculation. The Tantrics are emphasizing the colossal creative power of the sexual fluids. For example, in the average amount that a man would ejaculate, there is 250 million sperm cells, each one having the capacity to give life when it meets with the egg. So this is a colossal creative potential. But not only this, the Tantrics are saying that the physical sexual fluids are actually just a condensation of liquid light, or ojas. It's a condensation of very high subtle energies that exist in our being. And when we ejaculate them, we uselessly waste this potential. Unless we want to have a baby, it's uselessly wasted. Instead, the Tantrics are teaching us to preserve this huge potential in our being and then to recirculate it in our energetic structure so that it nourishes the whole being on the physical level, regenerating the physical body and energizing the higher chakras, and then awakening the latent powers of the mind and accelerating the spiritual transformation. So on an individual level, sexual continence, learning to make love without ejaculation, will give you a huge amount of vitality, increase longevity, improve your health. It has lots of benefits on the physical level. You'll have much more energy in the system so that you can use that energy on different levels. But also the Tantrics have found that in the couple relationship, it's also amplifying the harmony and the happiness in the couple. Now, when you tell people about this, about not ejaculating, especially men will think, well, you know, they gasp in horror, why not ejaculation? And this is because there is a mistake of making the orgasm and the ejaculation the same thing. They're not the same thing. What actually happens is that there is an effervescence of the sexual energies, the pleasure increases so much, and that leads you to a state of orgasm, which is an expanding of the consciousness beyond the normal levels of the mind. So when we reach this intense pleasure and we enter that state of orgasm, then there comes a point of no return where comes the involuntary reflexes of ejaculation. Now, as soon as ejaculation of these very precious sexual fluids occurs, then this state of orgasm is immediately cut and ensues a state of diminishing of vitality. The man will roll over, he'll go to sleep because he's knocked out, he's lost his vital resources. The sexual fluids were actually the fuel for the state of orgasm. So we should learn in this art and discipline of sexual continence to become aware of the difference between ejaculation and orgasm, and not to allow ejaculation to happen, but instead allow this sexual energy to build, and so that it allows the pleasure states to become more and more intense, the states of orgasm to become more intense, even making us more multi-orgasmic, and without diminishing the vital resources. Sexual continence also implies not only preserving the sexual fluids in our structure, but also alchemizing this energy so that we use the sexual energy and pump it up like to the higher chakras to develop the higher chakras. And so, for example, we can use the sexual energy, transform it into mental energy, or transform it at the level of the heart to experience more emotional energy or love. In this way, sexual continence is incredibly helping the spiritual transformation.